Hi, my name is Maggie Walker, and my research mentor for my Oscar URSP is Dr. David Luther. We studied Global Alliance for Zero Extinction Sites and the conservation of threatened and near-threatened species. The Alliance for Zero Extinction, or AZE, is a global initiative started in 2005 by 88 non-governmental biodiversity conservation organizations, which works to prevent extinctions of the world's most at-risk species. It identifies locations known as AZE sites, which meet the criteria of endangerment, irreplaceability, and discreteness. This means the site contains a species classified as endangered or critically endangered on the International Union for Conservation of Natural Resources, or IUCN Red List, contains more than 95% of that species' global population, and has a defined boundary. AZE sites are a subset of key biodiversity areas, or KBAs. In addition to conserving the most irreplaceable and vulnerable species in the world, AZE sites host many other species which might be threatened. While all AZE species are listed as endangered or critically endangered, there are also other threatened species in these categories that do not meet AZE criteria, along with species listed as vulnerable. In our assessment, we only included threatened and near-threatened mammals, birds, and amphibians with terrestrial habitat associations, as these taxonomic groups are comprehensively assessed under the IUCN Red List and have spatial ranges for each species. So why is this study important and relevant today? Governments are currently negotiating a new conservation strategy through the Convention on Biological Diversity, with the post-2020 biodiversity framework expected to be adopted in October 2020. This strategy will contribute to the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. We aim to contribute to these debates by quantifying one dimension of conservation through conducting the first comprehensive global study of AZE sites since 2005. As AZE sites are recognized globally and have been mainstreamed in global financial organizations, they potentially receive greater conservation attention than less well-known sites. To explore the greater benefit of AZE sites to the conservation of threatened and near-threatened mammal, bird, and amphibian species around the world, in this project we assess how the level of protection of AZE sites has changed since 2005 and compare this to other KBAs. We determine how many of those species which are threatened or near-threatened but do not meet AZE criteria have spatial ranges that overlap with AZE sites. We also study current protection levels of AZE sites to assess protection of AZE species. In order to assess all these factors, we created a multi-layered map in QGIS ArcMap. Spatial ranges of threatened and near-threatened mammals, birds, and amphibians were obtained from the IUCN, and a map of protected areas was obtained from the World Database on Protected Areas. These two layers were overlapped with the 2018 map of all KBAs, including AZE sites, which were analyzed separately. My role specifically was to take the large quantities of data this produced and develop questions to make it useful, and then organize and analyze the data accordingly. In 2005, the first time AZE sites were identified, there were 595 sites. Of the original sites, 254 no longer qualified as AZE as of 2018. We evaluated 341 sites from 2005, which still qualified as AZE in 2018. While there is a decrease in the number of fully protected sites, there is also a decrease in the number of sites with no protection, and an increase in the number of partially protected sites, so some improvement is seen. From 2005 to 2018, mean protected area coverage of AZE sites has increased by about 38%, a great improvement. Mean protected area coverage of AZE sites overall has increased by about 7% from 2005 to 2018, compared to an 8% increase for other KBAs which do not qualify as AZE, but which do contain at least one CR or EN mammal, amphibian, or bird species. For both AZE and non-AZE sites, the number of sites which are fully protected has increased by about 2% from 2005 to 2018. Indicating that while AZE sites may receive more conservation attention in the media and government discussions than other KBAs, they do not necessarily receive more conservation action of actually increasing protection. We found that of 6,677 total species of threatened and near-threatened birds, mammals, and amphibians globally, about 75% have spatial ranges which overlap with AZE sites. Of these sites, about 91% have some level of protection. Looking at only threatened and near-threatened species which don't qualify as AZE, about 77% have territories which overlap with protected AZE sites. For AZE species, this number is about 46%. This difference can be attributed to the fact that non-AZE species likely have larger territories than AZE species. Overall, AZE sites are helping to protect a wide range of threatened species beyond just AZE species. Nonetheless, protecting more AZE sites, and thus more AZE species, would greatly help in the fight against global extinction and should be discussed at the upcoming Convention on Biological Diversity. Thank you.